There they go. Off we go. We're racing in the Scottish Classics. And it's a superb getaway from the Triumph TR8 there of Andrew Graham, who races down towards turn one ahead of John Kinman in the big Rover. Then it's the Lotus there on the number 91 of Craig Houston, who makes it through into third. It's Alistair Baptiste. Oh, tries to get by, but it's the Scimitar Coupe there of Jimmy Crow who's made it up into fourth. So not a great start to the race for Alistair Baptiste, who goes back from third to fifth as they come up towards Clark for the first time. And it is Andrew Graham leading the way then in the Triumph TR8 with John Kinman giving chase. Then it's the Lotus of Craig Houston, who just, those V8s at the front of the field roaring through. And I think this Alistair Baptiste's got some sort of issue here as well, because he's getting passed by several cars at the moment. So is the little Fiat. Oh no problem with the braking performance, just lunges up the inside there.
Yeah, straight line power lacking, but stopping power certainly there. But he gets immediately repassed by the TVR Vixen on the straight, and yeah, he's got no straight line performance, but he's got plenty braking and cornering. Huge. But amazing the lead that the 78 cars pulled out in the first lap.
It is, yeah, the 78 of Andrew Graham, the green Triumph TR8, leads from John Kinman in the big Rover. Two quite different machines, both running, of course, big monstrous engines, but that Rover takes a bit of hustling around here as well. They're almost so closely matched, almost identical times in Sector 1 on this first flying lap, and then through Sector 2 they go, and then hard on the brakes down towards the hairpin for the third sector of the lap. And John Kinman, you know, he's getting closer and closer here. This could be a good lap here from the driver of the big Rover in the triplex livery.
Yeah, it's, the thing with the Rover is usually in a hot day like this, the last 2 or 3 laps of the race, you'll start the tail getting more and more out of shape at the hairpin and other places. So that's the challenge that he's going to have to deal with.
Yeah, well, that last lap by there, Andrew Graham took 0.6 of a second out of John Kinman. Craig Houston in third there. Charlie Cope on the move though in the number 4 car, the VW Mark 1 Golf, up there fighting with some very exotic machinery, setting a 59.7. Oh, the Lotus Cortina is off into the gravel. That's at he's actually at McRae's corner. You think at McRae's corner? What's that? That's the very tight right-hander that goes into the rallycross section. He's got it back going again, so he's going to rejoin the circuit. It's Nicky Dixon, and then we've got another car that's facing the wrong way on the exit of McIntyre's and the run towards Butcher's. It's one of the MGBs, to pick a number on it. That is the 51 of Barry Easthaw. He has got it moving on its own power now. He's broadside across the circuit. Oh, he's actually having to do a 3-point turn. He's finally got it going just in time before our leader's coming around.
Safety car though.
No other call there, I think. So that resets the field. I think that's good news for John Kinman, you would say?
I would think so, yes, because there was quite a gap developing between him and the leader, and this kind of resets for him. So I think it's that position is not, your microphone is not like in that position. That's odd. I wonder if it's it's odd. It would have been all day, but I'll move a few feet.
Yeah, it's a mystery. It is always a mystery. Last week at the Rewind Motorcycle Festival, it was the addition of extra metal railings which played havoc with the microphone. Also, 2-stroke motorbikes, it doesn't seem to like that either.
Well, hopefully it'll last the last few minutes of this race. Safety car is out though, and he's just about picked up the leaders. He's got one car ahead of the leading group, the MGB V8 of Michael Longstaff, so he may get waved to, I'm not sure. I don't know if we do have wave by of the slower track.
Yes, we do. Yeah, getting the wave around, IMSA style. That's the 51.
It's the 51.
Barry Easthaw, who had that spin. That must have been pretty unnerving, being broadside across the circuit, and just got it moving in time before the leaders came on the scene, and the right call from race control to throw the safety car immediately. So we reset then, and now, oh yeah, Alistair Baptiste, he's sitting in 6th in the Fiat X19. I would think a rolling restart is not going to be that car's forte amongst those really muscly machines around him.
Yes, he'll struggle with that, but when they get to the end of the next straight, then he'll make some of the time up again. But yeah, the Lotus Cortina of Nicky Dixon, glad to see that's going again. Maybe 1 or 2 chips in there, and like paint there from the gravel, but other than that, it seems to be fine.
Yeah, that was heading towards basically heading head on towards the barrier on the exit to the Rallycross circuit. And I'm like, oh no, that's when in the classics you think, oh, that's a really valuable car.
Well, a few years ago that barrier used to be a lot closer than it is now. So yes, he's fortunate he didn't do that 10 years ago.
He'd have been in it. Yeah. Well, we're always making improvements to the safety here at Knockhill Racing Circuit. Speaking of, message coming in to our text the tower 60777 to start your message with Knockhill and then your message, and we'll get it up here in the Gary's Tag comments tower, saying congratulations to the Scottish Motorsport Marshals Club. It's their 50th anniversary this year. They provide the rescue units at Knockhill, all volunteers, keeping everything safe this weekend. If anyone wants to be part of the action, go to smmc.org.uk. That's smmc.org.uk. if you want to be, it's not getting close to the action, it is being in the action. So if you want to volunteer and help out there, do get in touch there as well. Safety car is out, is pulled away, and we're back to racing again.
Yes, and we've got the leading pair now very, very close together indeed. I think the 78 car of Andrew Graham making a slightly better job of the restart, but Kinman still very much in touch.
It seems as well that the Triumph TR8 has just got a little bit of an edge on the straight. Whoa, John Kinman's got the rear end of that car wiggling all over the shop on the brakes into McIntyre's, but there's not much to separate them. The Lotus in third there, the number 91 of Craig Houston. Charlie Coates Golf, though, it is the giant killer out there. Mark 1 Golf GTI fighting away with these big, muscly, brawny machines. So, despite getting the wave around, I think our leaders are going to come on to the back of the 51 MGB of Barry Easthall pretty soon. I wonder if Barry might is he going to carry on? Yes, yep. He is. Yeah. So despite getting that wave by, actually didn't get round quick enough. The safety car wasn't out long enough to get back round to the back.
It stopped him getting in the way of the lead battle, which is good. That's why we do the wave around. So
exactly. So, and it also keeps him on the same lead lap as his competitors as well. So Alistair Bapty in the Fiat X19 trying to hold off the Scimitar Coupe of Jimmy Crow. So battle going up and down all up around the circuit. So it's 6.5 laps to go here. We had an extra lap added on for what we had behind the safety car. As our leaders coming up, and it's game on at the front. It is really game on at the front. Andrew Graham in the green Triumph is being hunted down by John Kinman, who weirdly appears to have the edge over the back part of the circuit. You wouldn't think so in that big Rover.
No, you'd think the TR8 should be more nimble, but both of them I think are going to hit tyre limits by the end of the race. They're both putting a lot of power through the rear wheels from their Rover V8 engines, and it's going to be fascinating to see. But the TR8, clear advantage on straight line speed, but you're obviously seeing the other side of the coin at the other end of the circuit.
Bizarrely, John Kinman's, he's actually, you would think that car would not be as good as the Triumph TR8 on the brakes, but he's actually closing in on the brakes and closing in on the back part. So John Kinman is having to try, I bet you he's going to have a sweat on in there. Oh, he's done a big spin. Spin at the chicane for John Kinman. Well, he was pushing, he's in the gravel, he's managed to keep it going, or has he? Oh no, he's beached it. He's beached it. John Kinman looks to be absolutely stuck. And he's going to get out the car as quick as possible, and he runs to a position of safety. We might well see another safety car here, Doc, because that Rover of John Kinman is beached on the exit of the chicane. Surely there's no other call here than to have a safety car again.
Could well be. We also had a brief yellow. Safety cars just been called out. We also had a brief yellow for the second half of the main straight just as that was happening. So I don't know if somebody else has been off there, but that was cleared just as John Kinman exited his car. So safety car obviously for John Kinman's car at the chicane then.
Oh well, that gives us an impression just how much John Kinman was having to go to the limit there to make up the time he was losing on the straight. The car was in all kinds of shapes on the brakes, and just going through the chicane. It looked like he hit the curb going in there, talking, and then that just got the car out of shape. He couldn't quite get it back again.
Yeah, it's very difficult once a car starts to go in the chicane. Very difficult for the driver to regain control, because it's not just the cornering force. You've got the G-force of the car going uphill, downhill, and all sorts of different things going on. So it's a very complex corner from a weight transfer point of view.
You just do the Harry King and just launch the whole thing.
Well, yes,
in the Porsche Cup car.
Well, I got last year at Touring Cars. I got thanks to Team Parker Racing and Barry Horn. I got a complete data readout from one of the cars, and they do 85 miles an hour through the chicane, the Porsche Carrera Cup cars.
That's terrifying.
It's quite something, because we've both driven the track a few times, and you've been on it 2 wheels and 4 wheels, and 85 through the chicane is seriously fast.
That's bonkers.
Yes.
I'm gonna try that on iRacing, and I'm gonna see how far into the barrier I end up. I'm sure the top guys in iRacing can do that.
Well, it should be possible. If the real thing can do it, then
but I mean, the laser scanning that the iRacing do with the car and the track is remarkable. And I have to say, I thought somebody was winding me up when they said iRacing, because it's an American-based company, and they Knockhill carries, probably because I didn't stop going on about it whenever I've ever done broadcasts with them. I would say, you have to get Knockhill, and they listened. They listened. And it is remarkably accurate. I mean, they get the whole feel of it, the undulation, the bumps, everything's fantastic. Great training tool. I would think that a lot of drivers who are coming up for the British Touring Car meeting in August will be using it extensively if they haven't seen the circuit before, just to get a feel for it. Alistair Bapty has set a lap record in his class for Class A, 59.532. He's taken 0.03 of a second off his lap record.
Crushed it then. Yes.
He's obliterated it.
3 milliseconds.
Yep. So behind the pace car, and this could be a longer pace car intervention here with that. Now, just as I say that, they've managed to get John Kinman's stricken Rover out of the gravel, and will he be able to rejoin the race? No, because he got out the car. Do you think he's gone and got back in again and then driven it out?
Well, if the car's mobile, he may have done so. He'll obviously may have difficulty with his belts, so he'd have to come in the pits to get the belts done up, unless he can do it within the car. Not everybody can.
I'm tethered into the desk here, so I'm trying to sort of get the wire stretching as far as possible. But so we're seeing. We'll get a confirmation of how many laps to go it will be when we go back to racing. Depends on how many laps we spend behind the pace car. And that kind of unfortunately shoots the fox for the overall fight there, Doc, because that was a great little battle we were having between Andrew Graham and John Kinman.
It was warming up very nicely for the last few minutes of the race.
Yeah. What that does mean, though, this is a cool story. The number 4 of Charlie Cope in the Mark 1 Golf GTI is on the overall podium.
That's impressive.
That's mighty impressive. Mighty impressive. Now, if I remember my notes here, no, I know it's. I wonder what sort of engine it's got. You do often see Mark 1 Golf GTIs that have a lot more modern Golf GTI engines put into them and tuned up, but nevertheless. That is a seriously impressive run.
I would think, given that he's in the classics group here, I would hope he's got probably close to the original engine in the car. But we'll see.
The way it goes up the straight, I don't think so.
Well, maybe the original block, but there might be a few ancillaries added. So.
Yes, ancillaries. That would be one way to put it. I have to say, it's so cool to see the number 15 BMW 2002 Ti of Ewan Anderson out there. Back to racing we go then, and
this has been a gift for the leader, because there was lapped traffic in the way of everybody else, and so just
they couldn't
overtake, and so that's pretty much the race won for Andrew Graham, that advantage he gained there.
Now, and the battle for the podium is on. Alistair Bapty is side by side with Charlie Cope in the Golf GTI. They're side by side through Butchers and up through the chicane, and Cope has to back out of it. So Charlie Cope drops off the podium then behind Alistair Baptiste. So Baptiste has got a new lap record in his class under his belt, and goodness me, the corner speed he carries out of Clark's there, Baptiste, in that little Fiat. Fantastic. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with the straight line speed of Charlie Cope's Golf, that's for sure. Also the number 2 of Alistair Coates getting full lock-stop to lock-stop sideways in the RS2000 Ford. And Cope and Baptiste are touching wheels as they go up the start-finish straight as well, and Baptiste's just got no answer for the straight line speed of the Golf, but looks like Charlie Cope's either missed the gear or backed out of it to let Baptiste back again after a bit of contact. They're side by side again, going down into toughest, and oh, that's Baptiste country there.
Jimmy Crowe retires the number 21 Scimitar into the pit lane, unfortunately. So close to the end of the race too.
Nearly there. You wonder if the time behind the pace car is not so good. Oh no, we've got car off into the gravel at Leslie's. I'm trying to tell if it's I think it's the BMW 2002. Just after saying how nice it is to be here, it's beached. That BMW is beached on and it's in a pretty precarious position.
Yellow
as well.
Flags on the main straight then to reflect that.
Yeah, so who would have thought it'd be the classics which were the naughty boys bringing out all the safety cars?
They're normally a bit better behaved, more gentlemanly.
They should be.
Meanwhile, the Baptiste has got ahead of the Golf. However, the Golf is coming at speed, but they're going into yellow flag zone. In fact, red flag now. Red flag.
Yeah, and that could well be a result then.
Yeah, what time was left on the?
There was only 2 laps left.
Yeah,
so I think that could
call
well
it
be
at that. Yep.
A result. And they're thinking, you've had your fun, boys. If you can't behave, you'll come back in.
That's exactly. I've seen that happen a few times down the years. Sent home.
Yes. Punishment exercise. 100 lines. I will not turf it off the circuit.
Well, I do remember way back in mid-80s at Brands Hatch, Formula First, if anyone remembers Formula First, and that had a terrible reputation for driving standards. And I do remember one race where
Darren Turner cut his teeth in that championship.
Absolutely, yeah. I do remember one race in there. They did 3 laps. Oh, I'm losing you.
Yep.
Your
signal is dropping.
They did 3 laps. I'll tell you the rest when I get into a place you can hear me.
Trying to,
yeah, just about passed into the platform. Yeah, they did 3 laps, red flag twice, and the whole lot of them sent home. And that was it.
Apparently they weren't the nicest things to drive either, the Formula Firsts.
No, they were a strange kind of beast of a car, but we do better things these days in motor racing. So.
Thankfully. So your winner then, Andrew Graham, from the 90 now. The race is getting declared back a lap.
Oh, right.
So I'll just wait for the timing screen to come through and to come. There's little checkered flags coming up all over the timing screen. So we know for sure our winner is Andrew Graham, number 78 in the Triumph. Then the 91 Lotus is second. It's showing Charlie Cope in third at the moment, but so he must have got the edge on Baptiste. On that last declared lap.
Right. Can you give us a quick 1, 2, 3 again so we get the right people in the right places
so the
here?
Number 78 Andrew Graham in the green Triumph.
Yep.
Then the 91
Lotus,
is
second.
Craig Houston. Yep.
And Baptiste third.
And then Alistair. No, Charlie Cope in that's what it's showing on my screen at the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
So they've just done that the wrong way around. Charlie Cope's gone through the paddock and Alistair Baptiste here, so I'll have to tell Alistair Baptiste that he's actually only 4th and not 3rd, and then stand well back. So.